everyone, this is Bonnie from Backwards Story. I hope you are having a spooktacular October. And today I want to talk about some of the recent releases from Disney Hyperion that you're going to want to have on your TBR list this fall. While I was sent these books for review, this is not a sponsored post. I'm not cool enough to have those. And these are just books that I have been personally very interested in, and I'm very grateful to Disney for sending them to me. And I'm honestly really excited to talk about them with you. Two of these books I've already read. One of them is one of my top 5 favorite books of the year. One of them has my favorite kissing scene of the year in it. And the others are ones that I really want to read this fall myself. So I thought maybe you'd want to read them with me. So let's take a look at what Disney has up for us this fall in YA. First, of course, we have Hocus Pocus and its all-new sequel, because I know you guys were eyeing that up the minute the video started. And since Halloween is today, happy Halloween, by the way. Of course, we have to start with the Halloween book. Hocus Pocus is an annual favorite. I think Hocus Pocus and the live-action Casper are the two movies we watched again and again and again growing up, and still watch whenever it's on TV now. So this year is the 25th anniversary of Hocus Pocus, and it's more popular than ever. They just had a TV special on Freeform this past week, which may be on demand or maybe streaming online if you want to check it out. And this book came out recently as well to celebrate that anniversary, as well as a sequel that takes place 25 years later, and it stars Max and Allison's daughter, and the witches are back. And first, let me just look at this cover with you guys. I am so obsessed with the silhouette of this cover, the way you see their hair and their mouths, and everything else is just black and blends into the darkness. And then you have this moon, and you have these neon pops of color. It's really interesting that there's no dust jacket on this book. Usually books have a dust jacket, and it's just right on the book itself. Look at these silhouettes on the back again. And look at these very different silhouettes. Shortly after moving from California to Salem, Massachusetts, Max Dennison finds himself in hot water when he accidentally releases a coven of witches, the Sanderson sisters, from the afterlife. Max, his sister, and his new friends, both human and otherwise, must find a way to stop the witches from carrying out their evil plan and remaining on Earth to torment Salem for all eternity. So that, of course, is the first book, and it is a reinvented form of the movie that we all know and love. And then the second half of this is 25 years later, Max and Allison's 17-year-old daughter Poppy finds herself face to face with the Sanderson sisters in all their sinister glory. When Halloween celebrations don't quite go as planned, it's a race against time as Poppy and her friends fight to save her family and all of Salem from the witch's latest vile scheme. And here's how it looks when you open it up. You've got this nice pop of purple for the end papers. Part 1 then, and you've got more silhouettes. Look at this art, so pretty. There's your map. You get a map in here, and then here is your chapter heading. Part 2 now. Another picture, another map, and another chapter heading. And I love when books take the time to have different chapter headings for every chapter, because it gives me something to look forward to, and I'm always curious to see what they have next. So this keeps me going every time I read, and I'm so excited to see this book do it. So yeah, if you are still looking for a book to read this week for Halloween and the atmosphere and the time, definitely pick up Hocus Pocus and its all-new sequel. It is the perfect book to read this week, and I'm planning to read it myself, so we can all read it and talk about it together. I think that sounds fun, don't you? Next, we're going to talk about The Darkest Legacy by Alexandra Bracken, which I've already read and reviewed, and it is the 4th book in the Darkest Mind series, and the first book became a movie this past August, and this book takes place 5 years later, and it stars Zoo as the main character, and I've got to tell you guys, ooh, look at these end papers with the lightning, which is kind of Zoo's power. Spoiler, I guess, if you haven't read it and don't know that she's a yellow. This book has my favorite kissing scene so far of 2018, and I don't want to, tell you about it because spoilers. Here's your chapter heading. But it's really good, really well done. I was really excited when I had friends finish reading so that we could talk about that chapter and that scene, because it was really good, and I think it's definitely going to be a best of the year finalist for Kiss for me. And this is also out now. This is your spine. And this is your back cover, and I've got to say I love the design even more after finishing this book, and I think the lightning is absolutely perfect for it, and it's a really perfect design in my opinion. Next, we have Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, 9 from the 9 Worlds by Riordan. And this is a series of short stories set in the world of Magnus Chase. Look at these end papers. They are so beautiful and there's so much detail. And I can spend so long looking at them and picking up new things every time I see it. And as always with Riordan, the titles of each story are just so funny. Like, look at the first one. Just another decapitated head. Oh, and Odin is the author of this story. And I think it's so great. Here is a table of contents with everything that's going to be in this book. And this is a companion to the Magnus Chase trilogy. And yes, I'm absolutely being lazy right now. I'm showing you the spine on my bookcase because it is at the top of my billy and I don't have time to get it down right now. And I'm almost out of space on my phone, so I don't know, maybe I'll do it again before I post this video. If I do, you're really lucky and we'll never know this part is there. Look at these deckled edges. And there are some really cool features, and I will definitely do a video later just on this book because I think it's got a great design worth investigating further. Another book with a great design is Willa the Wood by Robert Beatty, which I just finished filming a video for that, so that's also part of why I have no space on my phone right now. This is my favorite middle grade of the year. It is my 5th favorite book of 2018 right now in October, but you know, we still have 2 months to go. It is so good. I hope it wins a Newbery next year. I have a whole video gushing about this, so I'm not going to go over it in too much detail now, but I will show you how gorgeous this book looks without the jacket. And if you like movies like Fern Gully, and if you like things with environmentalism, this book is so good. This book left me in tears at the end, and I didn't expect for it to shatter me like that when I started reading it. I thought it was just going to be an average book, and it was so good, and I am so in love, so obsessed, and I can't wait to tell you more about it soon. And last, I cannot wait to read Part of Your World by Liz Braswell. It is the newest twisted tale in the series, and it's basically what would happen if Ursula won and she's now Queen of the Humans, and Ariel is Queen of the Sea, and what would happen now, and it sounds so good. The Little Mermaid is one of my favorite Disney movies, and I can't wait to see where this tale goes. I have seriously been dying to read this, and it's funny because I've only read one of the twisted retellings, and I thought it was a little too close to the story. It was the Aladdin one that I read, and I kind of struggled with it a bit, but I love that the last one that came out, which is a retelling of Mulan called Reflection by Elizabeth Lim, and this one are both so drastically different. And I have the Mulan up on my nightstand to read. I'd hoped to read it for Magic, Myth, and Mischief in September, and I didn't get around to it. So I hope to read both of these books this fall, because I think dark and twisted is kind of perfect for fall. It's a little creepy, it's atmospheric, and I really want to read both of these because they're so different and so interesting, and I'm excited to try the Twisted Tales again. So I'm really curious to hear which of these you've read, which of these you're interested in reading. As you just heard, I have read 2 out of the 5 books, and I really want to read the other 3, and I think that these are all great fall titles. I'm very excited to have them. Thank you so much to Disney for sending them to me, and if you're planning to read them this fall, let me know below. Maybe we can read them at the same time and have a little book chat going on social media. I think that would be a lot of fun. So let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.